we decided to talk about the issue of nuclear power and more specifically nuclear fusion, because it is an ongoing issue in many parts of the world today. Not only have we experienced the benefits of nuclear power, but we have also seen the worst. From the Chernobyl incident to the 3 Mile Island accident and the Fukushima meltdown. There are three primary ethical issues that come into question when discussing nuclear power. These three issues are meltdowns, waste, and weaponization. Of all these, the most controversial is nuclear weapons. During the mid to late 20th century and today, nuclear weapons are a constant threat. From policing which countries may possess them to the possibility of a terrorist hijacking a weapon, the threat is constantly in the back of people's minds. The ethical issues of nuclear power can't really be considered in any way positives. Instead, using nuclear power itself is the ethical choice we have to make. The pros behind nuclear power is that it's a cleaner fuel source than fossil fuels, and that it is very cheap when it's actually running. And also, the nuclear resources used in a nuclear power plant are much more plentiful than fossil fuels are. The cons are that the waste is basically permanent and we have no storage place for them at the moment. Another con is that there is a very large startup cost to building a nuclear power plant. As of now, with breakthroughs in thorium reactors and relative safety of current power plants built to spec, nuclear power is an energy that we believe must be utilized. Because it is already in place, it would be detrimental to many people, including shareholders and plant workers that work in the plants right now, and the local economies built around the plants to now shut them down. Instead, they should be slowly phased out as jobs are transitioned to thorium and green energies. We can live with using nuclear power. It is already being used in virtually every part of the country to great effect and with relative safety, especially when compared to the harmful effects of the atmospheric waste from coal power plants. Currently, nuclear power is feasible and has been feasible for the past 40 years. Now we come closer every year to a cleaner source of nuclear power such as fusion and liquid thorium reactors. From our research about nuclear power, we have a few recommendations about how we could resolve the issues. One of them is designating zones where nuclear power would be okay to be used. This way, more populated zones would not be affected in case of a disaster. Another recommendation is launching the nuclear waste into space. That way, there is no risk of humans being impacted by the nuclear radiation. Another recommendation is removing the radioactive waste from any populated zones and putting them under mountains. That way, there would be no population and no way of leakage. Also, we recommend that the nuclear power plants are switched from the now used power plants to thorium reactors. When looking at nuclear power from the standpoint of an ethical engineer, we still believe this technology is a worthwhile technology and should be implemented. This is because the pros outweigh the cons as discussed earlier in the video.